Do you know what nobody tells you when you're a perfectionist?
That done gets results and perfect is just a delay.
And let's be real for a minute. How many of your best ideas are sitting in a Google Doc graveyard right now because you didn't think they were quite ready?
Or you launched too late, or not at all.
Remind me to tell you about my bread course idea one time.
I need to tell you how many times I've sat on an idea for so long that somebody else launched it.
Yes. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Strategic mediocrity, the superpower that you probably didn't know you needed.
Okay, let's define it. Strategic mediocrity isn't about slacking or phoning it in. It's about being intentional with your effort.
It's about knowing when good enough is actually better than perfect. Because perfection is expensive. It costs you time, momentum, and sometimes the entire opportunity, like my failed bread course.
Perfectionism tricks you into thinking if it's not excellent, it's not worth doing. But business doesn't reward excellence. Business rewards action.
This isn't about lowering or dropping your standards. It's about being smart about them.
And there's a difference between strategic excellence and compulsive perfectionism. One grows your business and the other keeps you stuck.
This is where our Type A circle community comes in. We work with hustlers, avoiders, overplanners, all of them in different ways because they all wrestle with this.
Hustlers are constantly pushing forward and they burn out trying to make everything top tier.
Overplanners get paralyzed. They think if the plan isn't airtight, it's not even worth starting.
And avoiders? They use perfectionism as a defense mechanism. I'll start when I know exactly what to do.
And that's why they stall. The illusion of perfection keeps them from actually moving.
Strategic mediocrity says you're allowed to move forward with incomplete data. You're allowed to test things before you master them, and you're allowed to be messy on purpose.
Let's talk about ROI, because perfectionists hate wasting time. And you know what actually wastes time?
Obsessing over your homepage font instead of hitting publish.
Spending 3 weeks making a freebie look amazing instead of testing to see if people even want it, even for free.
You can iterate, you can edit, but you can't edit something that doesn't exist.
Some of our biggest results in business came from launches that, if we're being honest, were a little scrappy.
But they happened, and that's why they worked. Because we tested, we got feedback, and we adjusted.
Done lets you make those decisions, but perfect just keeps you in planning mode.
And perfectionism doesn't pay your mortgage.
Now let's be clear. There are places to bring your A game. Anesthesiology, accounting.
Your product? Yes. Your customer experience? Absolutely. Your brand values? Non-negotiable.
But the fourth revision of the blog post that nobody's going to read, your color palette update, your podcast episode that's 5 days late because it doesn't feel quite right.
That's where you apply strategic mediocrity. Good enough moves the needle. Great later when it matters.
Ask yourself, what's the opportunity cost of waiting? What am I not doing because I'm tweaking this one usually unimportant thing?
And is perfect even measurable? Or is it just your fear dressed up like productivity?
So how can you actually use this?
First, decide what your non-negotiables are. What are the 20% of things that drive 80% of the results?
Second, set a time limit. Don't let tasks expand just because you can keep working on them.
And third, get feedback early. Post the draft, launch the beta, ask your audience.
And finally, track results, not feelings. If good enough is working, resist the urge to over-polish.
I need a dashboard of metrics for my emotions about things. You're not lowering the bar, you're aiming it at the right target.
Here's the part no one tells you. You can spend your whole career building the perfect business
and never actually build a life.
Strategic mediocrity frees up your energy to focus on what matters: your family, your health, your joy.
Because at the end of the day, good enough gets you there. Perfect just delays the drive.